The first time I saw her, she was trembling. Not from fear, though she had every reason to be afraid, but from hunger. Sergeant Elias Kane had been trudging through the debris field of Outpost 14 when he found her. The station had been ripped apart by raiders, its walls gutted, its life support systems offline. He expected corpses, maybe a few desperate survivors. What he didn't expect was a child. She was small, no taller than his knee, crouched behind an overturned ration crate. Her skin shimmered pale silver green under the flickering emergency lights, and her wide black eyes reflected the ruin like mirrors. Thin arms wrapped around her body, bones sharp beneath the skin. Elias lowered his rifle. "Easy," he said gently. "I'm not here to hurt you." She flinched, then peeked up at him. Her lips parted, but no sound came. She swayed on her feet. He realized then she was starving. He dropped his pack, dug through it, and pulled out a sealed pouch. It wasn't much, half a ration bar and a squeezed tube of nutrient milk. He tore it open, poured some into a tin cup, and slid it across the floor. She sniffed, eyes darting to him warily. Then, with trembling fingers, she picked it up. She sipped once, then again. Her body shuddered, and for the first time, Elias heard her voice. A whisper, fragile, warm. He swallowed hard.
Yeah.
Warm. That night, he sat beside her in the wreckage, and she drank until the cup was empty. When she finally fell asleep curled against his side, Elias knew he couldn't just leave her there. Over the following days, the girl followed him everywhere. She was quiet, always quiet, but sharp-eyed. She noticed things even he missed: a cache of emergency batteries hidden beneath rubble, a twisted bulkhead groaning before collapse. She didn't speak often, but when she did, her words carried weight. Her name, she finally told him, was Syrah. "Where are your people?" Elias asked one night, while they huddled near the glow of a salvaged heat coil. Her eyes grew distant.
Gone.
Raiders took them. Elias's chest tightened. Parents? She shook her head. They fought. They sang to the stars while they burned. I ran. There was no tremor in her voice, no tears. Just a calm acceptance, as though she had replayed that memory so many times it had lost its sting. But Elias felt his throat ache. He knew loss. He knew what it meant to keep walking even when the world had turned to ash around you. He handed her another cup of milk. "Not anymore," he said. "You're not alone anymore." She blinked at him, as though those words were stranger than any alien tongue. The milk became a ritual. Every morning, before they searched the ruins for supplies, Elias would warm a small portion and hand it to her. Every night, before they curled beneath the shredded remains of thermal blankets, she'd sip slowly, as if savoring every drop. But one evening, as she finished, she looked at him strangely. Her pupils shimmered with faint light. "Your kindness," she whispered. "It awakened something." Elias frowned. "What do you mean?" Syrah set the empty cup aside. Her small hands pressed to her chest. "My people, we are bound to nourishment, not just to eat, to remember. Milk carries memory." He leaned forward. "Memory?" She nodded. "When I drink, I can call forth what my ancestors left in me. Songs, visions, strength. But I was starving. Empty. I thought it was gone forever." Elias stared at her, unsure whether to believe. But then she closed her eyes, and light blossomed in her palms. Faint, soft, but real. He sucked in a breath. "What are you?" Her voice was so small he barely heard. The last of a line. A seed of a people who sang to the stars. "And you have watered me." The change was subtle at first. Syrah's health returned rapidly. Her cheeks filled out, her steps grew steady. But more than that, She began to hum at night, low, melodic sounds that seemed to resonate in the walls themselves. Once, when Raider's scanners swept overhead, her song grew urgent, and the lights of the wreckage flickered. The scanners passed, never detecting them. Another time, when Elias's wound reopened and blood stained his sleeve, she pressed her glowing palms to it. Warmth surged through him. The pain dulled. The bleeding slowed. He stared at her, awe and disbelief warring within him. "You healed me," she only whispered. "You gave me milk. I give back." But secrets don't stay hidden. The raiders returned, combing through the ruins. Elias and Sarah fled into the jungle beyond the outpost, a place of massive trees and tangled roots. They ran until Elias collapsed from exhaustion, lungs burning. Sarah tugged at his sleeve, urging him on. "They will find us." Elias gritted his teeth. "I'll fight them if I have to." She shook her head, eyes glimmering with something older than her years. "No. You have given enough." That night, as the jungle thrummed with alien life, Sarah stood beneath the canopy, palms raised. Her song rose, clear and haunting. The leaves trembled. The ground itself seemed to shiver. Overhead, the raiders' ships veered off course, alarms wailing. Sensors scrambled. One crashed into the valley wall with a fiery bloom. Elias gaped. "You did that." Sarah swayed, exhausted. "The memory of my people, their strength flows through me now. Because you fed it." He caught her as she stumbled, pulling her into his arms. She was trembling again, not with hunger this time, but with the burden of power. In the morning, she confessed the truth. "My people left me more than songs," she whispered. "They left me a seed, a piece of themselves. If I survive long enough, it will bloom, and my kind will live again." Elias felt the weight of her words. She wasn't just a child. She was the future of an entire civilization, and he was the one keeping her alive. He thought of the glass of milk, of the trembling girl he'd first found, and he realized the small act of kindness that had cost him nothing had changed everything. Rescue came at last. A patrol ship, drawn by distress signals, landed near the jungle clearing. Soldiers rushed out, weapons raised. Elias stepped forward, one arm protectively around Sarah. "She's with me," he said firmly. The commanding officer frowned. "That's an alien." "She's a child," Elias snapped. "And she's under my protection." They hesitated, but Sarah stepped out from behind him, lifted her chin, and spoke in a voice both fragile and fierce. "He gave me milk when I was dying. He made me remember who I am. If you take me, he comes too." The soldiers exchanged uneasy looks, but none dared argue. Aboard the ship, Sarah curled against Elias's side, her head on his shoulder. She whispered softly, as if confessing a final secret. "I thought kindness was a story, that no one would care, but you did." Elias brushed a hand through her hair. "You were worth caring for. Always." Her eyes closed, a faint glow pulsing beneath her skin. And just before she drifted into sleep, she murmured the words that broke him. "You didn't just save me. You saved my people." Elias sat there in silence, heart heavy and full all at once. Outside the viewport, stars stretched endless. He wasn't sure what the future held, for her, for him, for whatever seed she carried. But he knew one thing. It had all begun with a simple glass of milk, and it had changed everything.